Today, we're going to map out the wild and wonderful web of connections that, well, basically defines our lives. I'm talking about our social universe. From your best friend to your boss, we're going to explore all the different relationships that make us who we are. So let's dive in.
Just take a second and think about it. Seriously, friend, partner, sibling, coworker, how many different hats are you wearing every single day? You're juggling a lot of connections, right? It's probably way more than you think, and every single one has its own set of rules. So, to get a handle on all this, let's start by picturing your own personal relationship universe. Imagine you are the sun, right there in the middle, and all these people and connections are just orbiting around you.
Yeah, this universe of yours isn't some neat little solar system. It's more like a sprawling, chaotic, beautiful galaxy. It's got the relationships we go out and choose, our friends and partners. But it also has the ones we're born into or just kind of fall into, like our family or the people we work with. Figuring out how to navigate all of this, that's a huge part of being human.
Okay, so let's start with the fun ones, the relationships we actively invite into our lives. I'm talking about our friends and our lovers. These are the connections we get to build from scratch, all based on choice, affection, and, just liking each other.
So here's the official kind of textbook definition of friendship, but stick with me because it's actually really insightful. It's not just about having fun with someone. A real friendship is mutually productive. That means it helps you grow. It doesn't hold you back. And it's built on mutual positive regard. In other words, it's a two-way street. You both respect and support each other. Simple as that. And this table just nails the difference between a real friend and, the frenemy. We've all had one, right? A true friend makes you feel good. A frenemy, well, after you hang out with them, you kind of feel drained or worse about yourself. They're the ones who give you those backhanded compliments or always seem to one-up you. So here's the real test. After you've been with them, how do you feel? But of course, sometimes a friendship blossoms into something deeper, and that brings us to love. It's a word we throw around all the time, but what does it actually mean? Well, as it turns out, love isn't just one thing. There are actually a bunch of different kinds.
Researchers have basically broken it down into 6 main styles. You've got eros, which is that passionate, all-consuming, love-at-first-sight feeling. Then there's ludus, where love is treated more like a fun game, full of excitement but not a lot of commitment. Storge is that slow, comfortable love that grows out of a really deep friendship. Pragma is the super practical one. This person checks all my boxes. Then it gets intense with mania, which is that obsessive, up-and-down, roller coaster kind of love. And finally, there's agape, which is totally selfless and unconditional. Most of us are a mix of these, but it really helps explain why we all love so differently.
All right, let's shift gears. Now we're going to talk about the relationships that we don't always choose, but that we absolutely have to navigate, our family and our colleagues. In families, the way we communicate and who has the power usually falls into one of 4 patterns. First, you've got equality, where everyone gets an equal say. Pretty straightforward. Then there's a balanced split, where maybe one person handles the money and the other handles the house. You're each in charge of your own domain. But it can get tricky with an unbalanced split or a monopoly, where one person really dominates the conversation and calls all the shots. Just spotting which pattern your family has can tell you a lot about how things work. And at work? Man, navigating those relationships is key to your career. It really boils down to some simple things. Be positive. Be respectful of people's time and their turf. Genuinely listen to people, instead of just waiting for your turn to talk. And maybe most importantly, be willing to communicate clearly and take feedback. That's what makes a team actually work.
Okay, but not every relationship is healthy or easy. Any connection we have, friend, lover, family, whoever, has the potential to have a dark side. And this is a tough topic, I know, but it's so important to understand this stuff to keep ourselves and the people we care about safe.
Let's start with jealousy. Here's the thing. It's not a character flaw. It's a reaction. It's that awful mix of anger and fear that bubbles up when you think you might lose someone you care about to somebody else. Feeling it is normal. It's what you do with that feeling that really matters. And sometimes these dark emotions can spiral into relationship violence. It is so crucial to know that this is not just about physical harm. It's emotional abuse, like constant insults or trying to control what you wear or who you see. It's that intense, crazy jealousy that comes out of nowhere. It's when someone's anger is so scary that you start changing who you are just to avoid a fight. These are massive red flags, and they should never, ever be ignored. And if you think this is some rare thing, it's not. The data is staggering. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men have been in an abusive relationship. This isn't a small problem happening somewhere else. It is a massive crisis that is happening to people everywhere, all around us. So, after going through all of this, the good, the bad, the complicated, what's the one thing that holds it all together? What is the master key that unlocks every healthy relationship in your universe? It's communication. That's it. That's the secret sauce. Whether it's telling a friend you love them, being honest with your partner about your feelings, setting boundaries with your family, or working through a project with a colleague, clear, honest, respectful communication is the bedrock of it all. It's everything. So, as we finish up, I'm just going to leave you with this question to chew on. When you look at your own social universe, all those people orbiting around you, which one of those relationships could use a little better communication starting today? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.